What's up, Doc? Welcome to the Docs Get Money podcast. Are you a badass doctor killing it professionally and has bigger dreams than just clocking in and out of the hospital? Do you want to leave behind a legacy that is as lit as an HBCU homecoming? Want to know how other doctors are getting to the big bag? That's right, making 5, 6, and 7 figures without putting on the white coat? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then you're in the right place. I'm your host, Kimberly, but you can call me Kim or KB. I went from being a burnt out and overwhelmed emergency physician to the founder and CEO of 2 six-figure non-clinical companies and beating burnout along the way. I'm also your business coach, here to help you make money moves to change the world. This podcast isn't just about making money, though. It's about leveling up your life, mindset, and bank account so you can build an empire that's as iconic as Beyonce. You ready? Let's get into it. Hey, Doc. Burned out? Ready to just burn the whole hospital down? Well, let's start a fire. Okay, no, not in the hospital, but in your bank account. And from side hustler to CEO, my signature one-on-one business coaching program, you'll transform your burnout into a fire and start your own profitable coaching, consulting, or midterm rental business and make clinical cash in 90 days or less. That's right, 4 or 5 figures in 90 days or less. This is only for doctors who are done being overworked and undervalued and need a way out of the hospital now. With your fire offer, you're not just dreaming about escaping clinical practice, you're building your own emergency exit. In 90 days, you could be your own boss, making bank, and actually enjoying your life again. So are you ready to swap those singed scrubs for CEO status? Then hit me up at Dr. Kimberly B on Instagram with the word burn, and let's turn that burnout into the bag. What's up? Happy Friday. I hope you guys are good. I am just out here enjoying the afternoon. Emerald is asleep, and she's been asleep for a little bit because sometimes I don't want to jump on immediately when she goes to sleep because she might pop up. And so she's been asleep for a little while. And so I thought I would just come on and share some things that's been on my mind lately. I'm very nostalgic, and it is August, of course, and I just am reflective of this time of year because this time 2 years ago, I was really launching my business coaching, which ended up being super successful right away. Had over 300 inquiries when I launched. I had a 5-figure launch when I launched, and I made my first sale within my first week of my launch. Yeah, it's just a time to really reflect of like where I am now in the business and all of the people that I've served and the journey that I've been on as an entrepreneur, because no one teaches doctors how to be entrepreneurs. No one's teaching really entrepreneurship to the masses in general. And so I am just being reflective of what I've learned along the way in order for me to get here. Saying that to say, I wanted to share with you some things that I wish that I had someone to tell me when I was early in my journey of entrepreneurship, meaning like I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur, but I didn't know what that really looked like, and I didn't honestly have the wording entrepreneur at that time, but I knew I wanted to create a source of income outside of my clinical work because I knew medicine wasn't going to be my end all at the end of the day. What that thing was to replace it, I had no idea. But I also didn't know how to get there, or like I said, I didn't have any of the concepts thereby. So now that I am able to look back, and hindsight is 2020, I have just learned so much along my journey, and I'm learning that things are so much of a spiral staircase, and you are learning kind of the same lessons over and over and over again at just at different points in your journey as you rise up and get to the goals that you're trying to get to, of course. So I thought I would just come on here and just share with you what I've learned, and I'm hoping that you find a nugget. If you are someone that is like me, who is, if even if you're not a doctor, if you're some sort of a person that is in a system, whether that's law, medicine, accounting, or what have you, any type of bureaucracy where you are tried or told that you have to be a certain way to fit a standard, and you are used for your labor and not necessarily taught how to be independent. You're taught how to just follow a framework of what success is supposed to look like and not take it upon yourself to decide what you want it to be. And really, if you're in that field and you want to create your own lane, whether that is starting your own business more specifically, I want to, like I said, impart these lessons in you because I really hope that this is impactful to you. And I hope that you learn something for yourself that will take you to the next step of your journey and help you to earn your first dollar, your next dollar, sign your dream client, whatever that looks like for you. I really hope that these lessons that I've learned that I'm going to share with you today on this live help you along your way. So anyways, I want to start with the very first one is self-care has to be non-negotiable for you. So if you're going to call yourself a business owner, an entrepreneur, a coach, a consultant, whatever you're doing outside of what your 9 to 5 is as a physician, a healer, what have you, you have to take care of yourself. Number one, we as doctors, more specifically, are givers. That's what we do. We give our healing, our arts to the general public. And so we cannot give from an empty cup, period, let alone start a new venture in addition to what we're doing at the bedside. And you know how you feel after you come home from a clinical shift. It's definitely not energized, even though you may love your patients and all of those things. It's because we feel depleted because we've given so much of ourselves throughout the time that we were at work, right? So that being said, if you are going to go upon the entrepreneurial journey, you have to make sure that you take care of yourself first, no matter what. You have to become the number one priority. That means, I'm not just saying just go get your hair done, your nails done, all of those things. Yes, do that too. But what I'm saying is self-care is meaning protecting your mind, protecting your brain, protecting your energy, making sure that you are thinking thoughts that are productive to where you are trying to go and not bashing on yourself. Don't allow negativity in your space, making sure that you're consistently pouring into yourself positivity and engaging in that energy and not engaging in negativity, more specifically, that is going to tell you that you can't get to where you're going to get to, question you, all of those things. So taking care of yourself, meaning taking care of your mind, taking care of your energy, and preserving yourself first. You cannot do this at all, point blank period, unless you put yourself number one. You cannot serve anyone else unless you're determined to serve yourself. So that has to be something that you decide to do before you do anything else, is get a self-care regimen. When I was first starting my coaching business, before, like a month before, I started journaling every day, at least for 10 minutes, and I started meditating every day. I could probably do both, maybe in 30 minutes, but I made sure that before I touched my phone, before I did anything else, that I spent some time talking to myself, meditating, calming my mind, preparing myself for the day before I engaged in anything else. And that is part of the reason why I got over my burnout, because I started feeding my energy back into myself. But that's also how I was successful in my business. It's because then I had the energy to go to work and spend a little bit of extra time to work on my business as well. So my self-care journey was just as small as 30 minutes journaling, meditating, and that took me to making 6 figures multiple times. So I cannot stress enough, self-care is non-negotiable. The second lesson that I wanted to share with you is that you cannot do this alone, and I learned that I could not do this alone either. I think as doctors, more specifically, when we start saying that we're not happy at work, or we're telling the truth of what's happening in our experience in our jobs, and we decide that we want something else, it can be easy to want to hide the fact that you're trying to start a business, because that's not our comfort zone. That's not something that we've been trained for. And so we kind of isolate isolate our business off from anyone else even knowing about it. Like our partner may know about it, maybe a couple of friends, but that's about it. And we definitely don't talk about this. And so we don't get the support that we need in order to make things happen. We don't talk about it and call in our community that we need in order for us to get our first clients, to find connections for sales, for marketing, for all different kinds of things that we may need upon our entrepreneurial journey. So you have to know that you cannot do this alone. You have to talk to your friends and let them know that you're starting a business. Talk to your family members. Ask your immediate family members for support. If you do have a partner, ask them, hey, I just need 1 hour today to sit down and just write this or go live or have this call or whatever it's going to be to move your business forward. You're going to need a coach. You're going to need someone to support your journey and hold you accountable and hopefully give you a proven process to help you to go even faster if you implement what they're telling you to do, right? And you're also going to need like maybe an actual team, someone else to support you to implement the things that you're trying to implement. So that could look like a VA, someone that's able to, like I said, support you in the actual administrative tasks of your work so you can focus on more of the things in your zone of expertise and genius versus doing all the minutia that takes up a lot of time and really is going to lead for you to burn out if you're constantly doing those things as well too. So know that you are not going to be alone on this journey. Like you're not going to accomplish your goal of 6 figures of success or multiple 6 figures and 7 figures of success alone. You are going to need someone else to help you. And so you have to communicate with other people early about what you're trying to do. And so they can support you. Another lesson I have learned is a third lesson is one day and soon does not exist. That is not on the calendar. That is not a date. That is not a time or anything like that. I became successful when I launched my business coaching because what I did is I put a date on the calendar and I said, this is the date that I'm going to announce that, this is what I have to offer. And if anyone is interested in it, then here's the way that you contact me. When I put that date on the calendar, that told my brain, my energy, all of those things to focus on getting ready to do that and to hold myself accountable for that. Told other friends like, hey, I'm launching on this date. I'm announcing on this date. But so many times as new entrepreneurs, we just say, oh, it's coming soon or one day or, in the future, TBD. We don't put dates on the calendar. And I think deep inside, we know that if we hold ourselves to something that we have to show up to that. And we want to hold ourselves to a high standard. So if we miss that, then we feel like we're a disappointment. So I think instead of just thinking about it that way, how I have decided to think about deadlines has been to hold myself into the trust that I can actually make that happen. Like I can actually manifest that on that day at that time. Like whatever it takes, whatever life throws me, I'm going to be able to work that hard or the universe is going to allow us to make that as easeful as possible for me. But I also don't make it like life or death or judgment if that date comes and I've worked and I've done everything that I could to be ready at that date and time and I'm still not ready either. And I feel energetically that I need to not do it. Then I'm flexible on the schedule. If things have leading up to that date and time that I've not been able to prepare like I'm supposed to, then again, I will push things down the road. But at the same time, I have to put a date on it. Otherwise, it just will not come true. I'm not criticizing myself. I'm not, making it mean, like I said, anything about me as a person either. But if I do not put what I'm going to do on the calendar and like I said, put a date and a time on it, then it's never going to happen. So saying that to you, if you find yourself working on your business or working on doing something and you keep saying, when is this going to happen? Soon, one day, or pushing it back, constantly pushing it back, you really need to look at what's happening for you and realize that if you don't make a decision to hold yourself to your own decision, then it's never going to happen. So decide, is this what I want? Do I want my business? Do I want to serve people in this way? And if so, then what do I need to do? What's the simplest thing that I need to do in order for me to get there? I think that leads me to another lesson, which I didn't mean to share, but it's also what's the simplest thing that I can do to move my business forward? Because life is going to be busy regardless. I think that's another thing that we try to do as new entrepreneurs or as entrepreneurs. It's like, oh, when things slow down at work, then I will do X. Or after this, I'll do Y, right? And it's like, no, after that happens, then it's going to be the next thing. And then it's going to be the thing after that and the thing after that. And it's never going to stop. That's life, right? So in the chaos of life that we are constantly living in, how can I find simplicity? How can I just do what I'm finding to be the one thing? What is the one thing that I can do today to move the needle forward? Is it going live like I'm doing today? This is my one thing today. It's like, I was like, this is if I don't do anything else, I have to go live and talk to you guys today, right? So this is my one thing. So maybe it's going live. Maybe it's writing that email. Maybe that's picking up the phone and calling that person that you met, at a networking event. What is that one thing that you can do to move your business forward? I have expanded upon that thought inside of Ignite, my coaching offer, but that's also how, like I said, I've been able to move forward. It's not, I always have a long laundry list of things to do, right? We all do. We're parents, we're doctors, we're entrepreneurs. We've got a laundry list of things to do. So I always look at my list and say, if I don't do anything else, what is the one thing every single day? If I just ask myself that one question about the one thing I can do every day, that aligned simple action just manifests bigger and bigger and bigger results. And then boom, like I said, you're making 5-figure launches from just taking aligned simple action. So what is the simplest thing that you can do? That's what it takes. People think you need to do all of the things to be everywhere to be successful. No. What is the one simple thing that I can do today to move my business forward? And when I do that, what am I going to do to celebrate it? I'm going to eat some ice cream when I finish this live. Like I said, this is my one thing today. So that's my celebration. But at the same time, one thing, the simplicity and keeping things as simple as possible. The next lesson that I've learned is don't reinvent the wheel. I think so many times we're trying to come up with the next biggest invention or the greatest this or the thing that's that. I find that to be successful, that most things don't get invented. Like that's very, very rare. You can bet on that. Or you can just not reinvent the wheel and follow someone's proven process. If you have a desire to do something similar to someone else, like maybe it's the same industry, like you want to be a consultant or you're in the coaching industry or you're an online educator or something else like that, you're a course creator, something else like that, follow someone else's proven process of success. And so you're not reinventing the wheel trying to figure out how to sell the thing, how to market the thing, how to create the thing. You're wasting your time. So just don't reinvent the wheel and follow a proven process, which helps you to get to the results so much faster. I say along those same lines, get a coach and follow a proven process, meaning so not just get a proven process, but get someone that is going to help you to implement said proven process so that when you come up with bumps along the way, because you will, because their proven process hasn't been tested under your circumstances just yet, right? So get someone to help you to implement, so when you hit those nooks and crannies and you get those questions, that they're there to help you and to support you. And you have a person that you can go to and get unstuck, as people are liking to say now, get unstuck. And so you can move faster. So again, that's how you get results. And I think that's so antithetical to what we've been taught to do as doctors. We've been taught to research, and then do. But I guess that's the emergency physician in me, that I don't research, and do. I kind of like learn a little bit and then go implement, get some results, and then come back and figure it out and then implement. That's what I have to do every time in the emergency department. I come in with a gestalt of what I think is going on with you. I will go put in some labs, maybe research your chart a little bit, talk to some people, get some results back, see what's happening, see if I'm right or wrong, what's happening here, reassessing the situation. That is how you have to go about business. That's the way that you have to just go about your business. You have to go and implement and figure it out and kind of go in there and just see what happens. Play, experiment, try. Don't make it a life or death situation, but don't research and go into analysis paralysis. Then you're not going to do anything. You have to go implement and research. Okay, that's enough about that. Speaking of, I spoke a little bit about this just a second ago, but the next lesson that I would say that I've learned is be curious and not critical. Meaning, ask what if? Like, I wonder if. Come at things with curiosity, like, literally, I would be interested to see what would happen if. That question is how I started Sherwood Properties after investing in real estate, because they tell doctors to invest in real estate. So I got a house that I was, trying to do the Burr method on, and I didn't know that what I was doing. But long story short, I lost a lot of money, still wanted to invest in real estate, and found about midterm rentals. So I was just like, I'm just curious. I wonder what would happen if I just follow this girl's method and see what it would take me. She promised that you could get your first rental and get it up and running in 30 days. I was like, I'll see. Let's see if she's right. I got it in less time than that. Just by asking myself, what if, instead of being overwhelmed by the thought of, oh my God, like that sounds like way too much pressure or so much time, and being so critical about it instead of being curious. So come at things with curiosity and just have an open mind and an open heart towards what you're doing in your business and see where that takes you. That energy is going to take you a lot further. It'll lead you past burnout when you're just playing and having fun and being curious about what's happening inside of your business. That's what will keep you in business for a long time as well, too, if you are more curious than critical. Let's see. We talked about the simplest thing. Another thing, a lesson that I've learned that I have written down here because I had to take notes so I wouldn't forget, is that I am who I say that I am. So doctors love to say, I'm not a marketer, I'm not a salesperson, or I'm not a business person, right? We love to say that. But what if we start saying, I'm an excellent marketer, I'm an incredible salesperson, I am amazing at business? And the more you start saying that instead of what you're not, that's what you're going to become. So you are whoever you say that you are. But in business, you have to be careful how you're labeling yourself. No, we are not trained as entrepreneurs in business. We don't know anything about the money. We're trained nothing, zero. So we could take that and decide to embrace and learn to learn something else about ourselves, or we can just kind of just continue to badger ourselves down. I choose to speak life into myself, right? So remember, along the way, yes, you're learning. You got to be a starter. Everybody has to start from the beginning, right? But say to yourself what you are becoming and who you are right now. You are a great marketer. You are a salesperson. You are a great coach. I am a 7-figure coach. I'm a 6-figure coach. Whatever you need to say, speak that into existence. You are who you say that you are. The last thing I would say is the last lesson I've learned is double down on your gifts and talents and absolutely ignore your weaknesses. That may be controversial to some people, but it's not controversial to me. If something is naturally easy to you, then do what's easeful for you. Don't spend the time and energy and hustle trying to improve necessarily what is not your strength. If you are not good at administrative tasks like emails and typesetting and things like that, then acknowledge that and then pass it to someone else. Do what you're actually good at. That energy that you're spending on trying to correct what you're not good at or trying to improve what you're not good at is eating up the energy that you should be using in just doing what you are good at. The speaking, the coaching, the leading, the guiding, all of those things. So focus on what you are good at and lean into that, and let the times when it gets hard, when you feel like you don't know what the hell you're doing, speak over yourself that you are the person that has those gifts and talents. I had a Clifton Strengths Finder test done a couple of years ago when I was in leadership in the Junior League of Memphis, and I, for the first time, learned what I was really, 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 really good at. which was ideating, creating ideas, which was building relationships, community, strategizing, all of these. I was like, oh, I didn't realize that I was really good at these things. And so I started calling myself a strategist, a networker, an ideator. And so because I had objective evidence that that was true. So when things got hard, when I felt like no ideas were coming to me, I had to go back and to remember, at least this test over here says that I'm an ideator. So I will come up with an idea. I'm full of ideas. This thing tells me that I'm full of ideas. And that's what helps you to keep going. So you are who you say you are. Lean on your gifts and your talents, but the energy that you are using to try to correct your weaknesses, turn that into the energy that you're using to support your gifts. That will take you a whole lot further than kind of doing busy work that is frustrating you and frustrating everybody else on the inside as well too. So I hope, like I said, this is helpful for you. I'm just thinking about you if you are on the entrepreneurial journey, you're practicing, you're living your life, you're doing all of these things, and you feel like you're not getting to exactly where you need to get to. I hope that you find these words inspiring and you take what you need from this and build the wealth that you want to build the business that you want to build. If you're looking for a business coach, if you are a doctor who's also a coach, consultant, educator, and you're looking to sign high ticket clients and make 4 or 5 figures in 90 days or less, I'm your girl. Thanks for watching. My name is Dr. Kimberly Brown. I'm a business coach and a emergency physician. I'm still practicing, but I have a program called Ignite, and I help doctors do exactly that, create 4 or 5 figures, 90 days or less by signing high ticket clients. If that's something that you want, hit me up in the DMs. Just DM me the word Ignite. I'll just start a conversation with you. We'll jump on a call if needed, but I would love to serve you. And like I said, I hope these lessons that I've shared with you today impact you, and I hope that you can share more with me in the comments. So even if you're catching this on the replay, drop replay and drop a lesson that you've learned along the journey. I'd love to hear it. So I'm melting out here in my backyard, so I'm going to sign off. I hope you guys have an amazing day and talk soon. Bye. Thank you for listening to the Docs Get Money podcast. New episodes drop every Thursday wherever you find your favorite podcast. Share, comment, follow, and subscribe to the Docs Get Money podcast wherever you get your podcasts. And if you want to know more, visit me, Dr. Kimberly Brown, at KimberlyBrownMD.com, and be sure to follow me at Dr. Kimberly B on Instagram. And until next time, let's go get this money, honey.